The world is facing an unprecedented water crisis, with deserts expanding and oceans rising. Yet the root cause remains a complex mix of climate change and human greed. This alarming trend has been unfolding for decades, with satellites tracking the invisible threads of water beneath our feet, revealing a stark reality. Nearly 6 billion people live in regions where water is vanishing faster than it can be replenished. The study, published in Science Advances, reveals that these losses now contribute more to sea level rise than the melting of mountain glaciers or Antarctica's ice sheets, a sobering shift in how we view our planet's water balance. At the heart of this crisis lies two primary drivers: rising global temperatures, fueled by fossil fuel consumption, and the overuse of groundwater, which has been extracted for millennia. Scientists warn that these pressures are accelerating the drying of once fertile lands, creating mega drying zones that stretch from the western U.S. to Central America and span the Middle East and northern China. For instance, the Central Valley in California has become a focal point where groundwater depletion has caused aquifers to sink, leaving farms and communities struggling to survive. In Russia and India, where permafrost is thawing, the loss of fresh water is particularly acute. The consequences are dire. As water evaporates from pumps and seeps into oceans, it contributes to rising sea levels, threatening coastal cities and ecosystems. The study estimates that 368 billion metric tons of water are disappearing annually from drying regions, a figure surpassing the volume of Lake Tahoe or even Lake Mead, the largest U.S. reservoir. This loss isn't just a local issue, it's a global one, with far-reaching impacts on agriculture, economies, and social stability. Farmers in drought-stricken areas face dwindling crop yields, while conflicts over water resources intensify as populations grow and demand increases. What makes this crisis so urgent is its speed and scale. Even experts were surprised by the rapid expansion of drying regions, which have already led to widespread aridification and desertification. Researchers note that the tropics are becoming wetter, while the rest of the world's land is shrinking. In places like California, where groundwater levels have dropped by as much as 1 foot per year, communities are forced to drill deeper, risking infrastructure collapse. The irreversible nature of this depletion leaves future generations with fewer resources, raising questions about sustainability and responsibility. The study highlights a troubling paradox. Water touches every aspect of life, yet it is often undervalued. As Hrishikesh Chandan Porkar, a co-author, notes, water touches everything in life. The effects of its irreversible decline are bound to trickle into everything. He compares the situation to a family overspending on savings, where the balance keeps decreasing without a clear end. The hidden cost of groundwater depletion is immense. Once these reserves dry up, the consequences are catastrophic. In many regions, there are no limits on well drilling or pumping, leaving communities vulnerable to water scarcity. Satellites have played a crucial role in monitoring these changes, using gravity measurements to track water shifts. The Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment, GRACE, and GRACE follow-on missions have provided critical data, revealing that groundwater losses are outpacing traditional ice melt concerns. But the new findings show these trends are accelerating at an unprecedented rate. It is quite alarming, says Chandan Porkar. Water touches everything in life. The effects of its irreversible decline are bound to trickle into everything. He emphasizes that while efforts to combat climate change may be slow, immediate action is needed to preserve groundwater, which is vital for future generations. In California, where aquifers have sunk by over 1 foot per year, farmers and residents are grappling with the consequences of overuse. The state's 2014 groundwater law aimed to curb overpumping, but allows many areas until 2040 to address their issues. Meanwhile, Arizona's 1980 law seeks to protect groundwater in urban areas. But in many regions, there are no limits on drilling or pumping. Out-of-state companies and investors have expanded deep well operations, exacerbating the crisis. As Femilietti notes, groundwater will become the most important natural resource in the world's drying regions. We need to carefully protect it. This crisis demands a collective response. While the science is clear, the path forward requires urgent, coordinated efforts to manage water resources sustainably. As the study warns, the choices we make today will shape the future of our planet and the survival of countless communities.